Welcome to Anything You Want, the corner of YouTube where celebrity stories arrive with context rather than shortcuts. Before we begin, please subscribe, hit like, and, if you want to back our long-form work, tap join. Your comments decide which stars we cover next. Once upon a red carpet time, Yaman and Sara Bluma were a single breath in the same sentence. Their first spark, caught by lenses at a party in Italy, was followed by strolls through Rome and laughter in Milan. They tried secrecy, the kind that dissolves the moment the first photo leaks. From then on, the romance was public property whether they liked it or not. Behind the glamour, the tempo faltered. Friends recall a familiar clash between expectation and logistics, a model who wanted presence and a global actor chained to distant sets, brutal call sheets, and flights that erased weekends. One confidant put it plainly, the calendar, not the chemistry, picked the fights. The couple cycled through breakups and reconciliations until a new chapter eclipsed them all, paperwork. Through counsel, Yaman filed a civil action naming Sara Bluma on 2 counts, alleged infidelity and alleged fraud. The petition sketches a double wound, of the heart and of the ledger. On the personal axis, it claims evidence of an intimate tie with another man. On the financial axis, it alleges misstatements aimed at unjust gain. Our client suffered both emotional and material harm, his lawyers wrote, a line that ricocheted across tabloids from Istanbul to Madrid. Sara answered not at a podium but on Instagram. In a long, shaking note she insisted she asked not 1 cent from Can, denied betrayal, and admitted only to loving him more than was sensible. The internet split in the space of an afternoon, Team Can invoking loyalty, Team Sara warning against reflexively villainizing a woman. Where do you stand, and why? Tell us below. Your reading of the room often predicts the next turn in stories like this. Inside Can's orbit, the mood hardened. A friend said he does not forgive disloyalty. Others, more cynical, framed the suit as strategic theater, a public figure pulling the narrative back under his control. Perhaps both can be true. Fame rarely travels in straight lines. The first hearing turned the Istanbul courthouse into a stage. By daybreak the steps were a forest of tripods. By 10:30 a.m. Can appeared in a black suit and offered 4 words, "Justice will be done." Minutes later Sara Bluma arrived in a red jacket and dark glasses. "I'm not afraid. The truth will come out," she said, steady as a metronome. The session itself was closed, but some details seeped through. Sources say Yaman's lawyers presented nightclub photographs showing Sara beside a foreign businessman, the kind of proximity that looks incriminating in a still frame. This is reputational harm done in public, the plaintiffs argued. The defense pushed back. The images were business-related, stripped of context, weaponized by suggestion. In law, context is oxygen. Remove it and any picture turns into a match. Then the moment that traveled furthest, Sara cried. Between pauses she told the court she had not betrayed the man she loved and that being labeled both traitor and grifter in one sweep was unbearable. Across the aisle, Can kept his gaze fixed, expression still. Observers read anger, sorrow, and practiced control in equal parts. What happens next depends on the evidence, not the noise. Fraud is a steep hill, it requires paper trails, intent, and precision. If proven, it could invite damages and a freeze on endorsements for the losing side. Infidelity, depending on how the court frames relevance and remedy, may shift the moral narrative even if the monetary consequences are narrow. Reverse the outcome, and the lawsuit could come to look like overreach, handing Sara both legal vindication and a gust of public sympathy. Meanwhile, the media engine purrs. Morning shows parse outfits and micro-expressions as if they were exhibits. Columnists exhume old interviews for hints they insist were always there. Fan communities measure nightclub pixels, debating whether a hand angle reads as flirtation or familiarity. Italian weeklies revisit the couple's early sweetness, espresso runs, seaside candor, the doomed insistence on privacy. Spanish talk shows weigh whether Mediterranean temperament excuses Mediterranean headline volume. And across the Middle East, commentators fold the story into ongoing conversations about fame, honor, and the social cost of public love. Quick pause for housekeeping. If this kind of long-form, evidence-aware coverage is your thing, subscribe to Anything You Want, tap like so the algorithm knows we're alive, and consider joining to keep these deep dives coming. Also, which Turkish celebrities should we profile next? Actors at a crossroads, singers in reinvention, or directors building new empires? Your suggestions shape our slate. At the close of the hearing, the judge scheduled a second session. Expect thicker binders, device logs, account statements, witness lists, and experts asked to translate emotion into evidence. Two questions will dominate. Can the fraud claim survive scrutiny once paperwork is examined rather than rumored? And do the nightclub photos keep their sting when the surrounding minutes are played, not frozen? If either support beam crumbles, the structure leans. If both hold, the stakes rise. There is reputational chess to play as well. Brands prefer stars whose mess stays on screen. Crisis teams will triage sponsorships, time statements, and advise the hardest tactic of all, patience. Casting directors will feign indifference while privately calculating whether curiosity helps or hurts ratings. A year from now, this could be a footnote. Or the gravitational center that bends every headline that follows their names. An ethical question hums beneath the spectacle: how quickly we turn private pain into public pastime. Tears, photos, one-line quotes, none are the same as proof. As a community, can we hold two ideas at once, that allegations must be tested, and that people, even famous ones, deserve a margin of mercy? Leave us a note below. The best comments sometimes make it into our next video. As for Demet Özdemir, remember the principle that protects bystanders: do not draft people into dramas they didn't audition for. Until evidence clarifies the insinuation, restraint is not weakness, it is fairness. Beyond the courtroom walls, the ripple effects widen by the day. Italian entertainment shows frame the dispute as a modern fable about fame without borders. Spanish tabloids ask whether transnational celebrity couples can survive the drag of incompatible calendars. Middle Eastern outlets emphasize cultural expectations around loyalty and public honor. Crisis PR experts often outline a familiar triangle: apologize where you must, disclose what you can, and protect the people who never chose the spotlight: family, colleagues, and friends who would rather not be search terms. One last practical note for viewers who follow cases like this closely: expect lulls. Courts prize procedure over momentum. Evidence must be authenticated, translations certified, and testimony scheduled across borders. That slow tempo will frustrate social media, which prefers a new twist every hour. Do not confuse silence with certainty. Often the quiet weeks are when the most consequential work is being done, away from the microphones, line by line, exhibit by exhibit. So where does the story rest tonight? With two careers still in motion, two legal teams sharpening their arguments, and an audience learning, again, that love can be louder in court than on a red carpet. The verdict, when it arrives, will decide damages, not meanings. Courts draw boundaries. They do not assign grace. If you've stayed with us this far, Thank you. Please subscribe to Anything You Want, click join if you want to help us keep reporting with this level of care, and comment with your take. Is this saga about betrayal, about money, about control, or all three wearing different costumes? Which Turkish stars should headline our next deep dive? Until next time, remember, celebrities perform for a living, courts do not, and the truth, however complicated, prefers daylight to applause.